Today we're going to paint our clay llama looms.
Now, when we look at photos of real llamas, we can see that they're neutral colors, such as brown, black, tan, and white. They're also not always one color. Sometimes they can be spotted with different neutral colors.
The neutral colors that we have in our paint set are any kind of browns, peach, white, or black. We're not going to use these colorful colors because those are the colors that we're going to be using for our weaving later on. So the nice neutral colors will look realistic and it will make our colorful weavings really, really pop. I've decided that I'm going to make my llama sort of like a spotty brown color. So to begin, I'm going to dip my clean brush into the water bucket and I'm going to put a little puddle of water onto a couple of the colors that I want to use. If there's no puddle of water on your paint, it's not going to work. Once you have your puddle, then you're just going to gently tickle that color with your paintbrush, making sure that your brush is staying pointy. You don't want to be too rough with your brush, of course. And then I'm just going to take my watercolor paint and I'm going to start painting it on my llama. Now, painting clay is actually a little bit different from painting paper. You're going to notice that the clay absorbs the paint very quickly, so it dries fast. So you're going to actually have to add a lot of water onto your paint colors today because that clay is going to be soaking up a lot of the water. If you want to blend colors, since the paint dries so quickly, you're going to have to do it sort of in like a layering way. For example, if I want to mix some darker brown into my lighter brown, I can just paint that color on top of my light brown color. The other difference about clay is it has texture to it. So I'm going to have to really make sure that I am tapping my brush and getting all of that color down into the little the places that are hard to reach. And I'm also making sure that I'm painting the sides of my llama. So I'm just tapping my brush down in all these little cracks and turning it gently so that I can paint the sides. I do not need to paint the back. I'm just going to keep on going until my whole llama is filled with color. When you're done with the body, you can take a little teeny tiny brush to do your llama's face if you need to. The little tiny details are a little bit trickier to do with the larger brush. When you're done painting your llama, the last step is to add a layer of Mod Podge. Mod Podge is not only going to seal and protect our paint colors from smearing, but it's also going to give our clay project a little bit of a shiny look. So I'm going to clean my paintbrush really well because I don't want any colors to get into my white Mod Podge. And then I'm going to dry my brush really well, so no dirty water gets in either. And then I'm just going to dip my paintbrush into the Mod Podge and start painting on a thin layer on top of my entire clay project wherever I added paint. Now you might think that this looks a little bit yucky right now because it's white and it's kind of covering up some of my colors, but don't worry, when the Mod Podge dries, it dries completely clear. So just set it on gently. You don't want to scrub your brush on your clay project because clay is really rough on our paintbrushes. It can really hurt the bristles if you scrub too hard. Also, if you scrub too hard with the Mod Podge, it could smear some of your colors. So I'm just sort of brushing it gently on the top just so that it sets right on top of my colors. When your whole front of your project and all the sides are covered with Mod Podge, we're going to leave it to dry.